Hey guys, this is Dr. Sonalika. I'm an SR in general surgery, and today I don't want to talk to you like a surgeon, but as a first year resident and all the struggles that I underwent to be where I am today. So, if you're just someone who's interested in taking up general surgery or going through your first year, or if you're just curious about what goes behind the closed doors of our general wards or OT, then welcome. This is my story. It is not glamorous, but it's real. So let's talk about the absolute beginning. I've wanted to become a surgeon even before I decided on becoming a doctor. Even before my MBBS started, I knew that I wanted to be a surgeon. So seeing my name on the allotment list gave me so much joy. It was like a dream come true. But there was this sadness also that I was leaving home yet again. I had to shift to a hostel like I did for my MBBS away from home. I was leaving my home, my comfort zone, my room in which I nearly spent 12 hours studying every day. I had taken a drop, so I knew loneliness about, not meeting your college friends, not partying. But once you come to your hostel, to a new place, it still takes time to know people. Everybody is so busy in residency. Everybody is dealing with their own storms. So yeah, and then you miss your home, you miss your parents. So let's talk about the first month of residency. Because you have cracked NEET PG, you've gotten admission into PG now, so you think you're so tough, but nothing prepares you for your first month. You are so busy. I lost around 5 kgs of weight in my first year, and mind you, it's very difficult for me to lose weight with PCOS. You stop eating, not by choice, but you are so overwhelmed with work, and sometimes you just don't get the time. I used to wake up in the middle of night with severe cramps in my calf because I was so dehydrated. You just keep pushing, and in the midst you don't even realize that you are hungry or thirsty, and it comes breaking down altogether when you have just crashed on the bed. Calls from home sometimes used to go unanswered, not because I didn't want to, but I was in the middle of something. But life doesn't wait, and you keep feeling like you are constantly behind. It's almost like your life gets put on a hold. You stop living in the real world. Birthdays, family functions, everything pauses. And after a while, you stop missing them because you think your life becomes this: rounds, blood reports, dressings, OT list, OTs. You are not living, you are just functioning, and sometimes on a spinal level. So let's talk about your night duties. So you are clocking somewhere around 36 to 42 hours straight. You haven't slept, you haven't eaten until at least till the night time, and you are clocking new patients at 3 a.m., arranging bloods, standing in Ayushman line, standing in billing line to just expedite the work for an emergency case. You're standing in radiology to get that CT scan done in emergency situation. Sometimes you are begging, negotiating, convincing them, and even sometimes fighting with them. So the amount of scut work that we do as first years is totally underrated. You become the coordinator, the clerk, the messenger. You are talking to radiology for reports. You are talking to pathology for that histopathology report. You are talking in biochemistry for that blood sample, consults with other department, dressing change, and counseling the attendants. Sometimes you are even handling angry attendants, and you have to explain to them the need for procedure and why it is important for their patient. Sometimes even up to 20 times you'll have to explain these things to them. All this while you haven't even touched the scalpel yet. And honestly, I used to wonder that I have done MBBS and I have come to do PG and I'm doing all of this. But you keep going because deep down you know that this is all a part of the process. That one OT. Then it happens. Your senior lets you scrub in, and it's not just to hold retractors. You are actually going to do something today. Maybe it's skin closure, maybe it's debridement. But when you are driving that needle holder, You just feel that nervousness, that excitement, and that happiness, and that makes it all worth it. All the missed meals, all the tears in the cold room, all the exhaustion, all the humiliation, it all becomes worth it in that moment. And it is not to say that all of those things are justified, but somehow you get this feeling that you are one step closer to become the surgeon that you've come here to become. You change without noticing. Your hands stop shaking, your eyes catch things that others miss. You almost develop these instincts. You start walking faster and confidently. You are not the same person who entered this hospital building months ago. Residency strips you down and then rebuilds you. Surgery isn't just a skill, it's a sacrifice. And as a first year resident, you're almost at the bottom of the hierarchy ladder, which you'll start climbing slowly, one duty at a time, one suture at a time. This life isn't for everyone, but those of us who choose this and then choose to stay, I always tell myself that we should be thanking our patients a million times, because we are so blessed that we are learning out of someone else's suffering, and we are so lucky that they are letting us treat them and learn from them. At my residency program, it was a ritual that the entire night call surgical team will eat together. So the first year is supposed to order, and all the residents starting from JR 1, 2, 3 and the SR will be having the dinner together. And these are one of the most fond memories from night calls. You start developing this bond with your co-residents because you're doing residency with them, you're dealing with these hardships together, and you form these bonds for life. And when those patients come back at follow-up, whose dressings you have done diligently, they will remember your name and they will bring sweets for you. These things make residency so happy, and in those times you feel like it's all worth it. All your hardships are so worth it because your patients come back, they are happy, smiling, and you feel like you've made a difference in their life. If you're watching this and you are a first year resident like I was, I'm there with you, I am vouching for you, and I promise it does get better. And if you're just starting this journey, welcome. It's going to be tough, but if you love this, then it's going to be worth every single sacrifice, tear, and all those sleepless nights. Meanwhile, you and I will keep talking about the realities of residency so it becomes better for all of the people involved. Please like, share, and subscribe if this meant anything for you. I'll see you in the next video where I discuss my experience as a JR2 in India. Take care and work hard.